and the Jets flying over. That's the mark of opening day of baseball. And here we are in Kansas City, Missouri, watching the Kansas City Royals host the Minnesota Twins here on opening day. This is going to be an exciting season for the Minnesota Twins as they're projected to take the AL Central. That's right, they are projected to take the AL Central. The only competition they have is the Cleveland Guardians, and, well, let's be real. Both teams are kind of in the middle of the pack, but the Minnesota Twins seem to have the edge. As you see our 2023 projections for stats, Donovan Solano is projected to lead the team with a 276 average. Carlos Correa is projected to have an 801 OPS. Joey Gallo is projected to lead the team in home runs at 26. Kyle Farmer is projected to have the most RBIs at 81. Nick Gordon, the most stolen bases at 12. Carlos Correa with the 4.9 WAR. And there you see it as Brady Singer is taking the mound for the Kansas City Royals. We're about underway here on opening day in Kansas City. Hopefully we have a good game in store for us as we take a look at Brady Singer's stats from last year. He had 24 starts last year with a 10-5 record, with a 3.23 ERA and 153 innings, with 150 strikeouts. He's averaging just under a strikeout an inning, but that doesn't mean that he can't come at you and throw high velocity and strike you out. Donovan Solano steps in to start us off, and he is going to push that one into right center. And that's a base hit to start opening day for the Minnesota Twins. The Kansas City Royals fans are packed in and they're ready to roll and roar for the Kansas City Royals. They're hoping for the win today. As Kyle Farmer steps in, this is at a 1-2 count. And Singer pitches, and he hits it on the ground over to short. Bobby Witt Jr. throws it to second, throw to first. And they got the double play. And then in steps Carlos Correa. He's at a full count, and he swings and he pushes it into right field, and that's a base hit. Carlos Correa with his first hit of the season as Byron Buxton steps in, hoping to replicate the success of the first and the third batters of the game. And he will swing and miss at the strike almost right down the middle. And that will retire the side as Singer steps off the mound. And for the Twins, you have Joe Ryan starting. He had 27 starts last year with a 13-8 record, a 3.55 ERA through 147 innings with 151 strikeouts. Once again, about a strikeout an inning, but Joe Ryan's the ace of the Twins this year. We'll see what he can do. And Bobby Witt Jr. is set to lead it off for the Kansas City Royals. And Joe Ryan throws a pitch. And he strikes him out. The first batter he faces, he strikes him out. And that was a high fastball. It's hard to hit those. Joe Ryan pretty pumped about that one. He's happy he could get the strikeout to start the season. As Nicky Lopez steps in, and he will also strike out. Joe Ryan looking to start out the season on a roll and strike out the side. As Vinny Pasquantino steps in with a full count. And Joe Ryan throws ball 4. Runner walk down to first, and in steps Salvador Perez, who he also walks. That puts runners on first and second for Edward Olivares, and Edward Olivares will smack that one into center field. Byron Buxton getting a little confused on where he wants to throw it. He throws it to home plate to stop the runner. Michael Massey steps in with a 3-1 count, and the bases are loaded. And he will take ball 4 as Joe Ryan walks the first run in. And then in steps Drew Waters. Drew Waters will take the curveball right down the middle for strike 3 to end the inning. That's not something you want to see, but the Royals are still happy that they scored 1 run out of the inning at the very minimum. As Jorge Polanco steps in and takes the sinker for strike 3. And then Jose Miranda will step up to the plate, hoping to bring the bats alive and score some runs for the Minnesota Twins. And he'll smack that one up the middle right at Brady Singer. Luckily, that missed him. That would not have been a good one to get hit by. He smacked that one at 94 mile an hour, and that would not have felt good. But he's on first base as Christian Vasquez steps in. And Christian Vasquez had a decent year last year, and he's looking to replicate it as he hits a lazy fly ball to center field. Center fielder Drew Waters throw that in and hold the runner at first base as Max Kepler steps in. Max Kepler is just looking to get that runner over, and he smacks one up the middle right back at Brady Singer. He's going to be terrified by the end of this game as they get it back in and hold the runners at first and second. And that will bring up Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo looking to redeem himself after last year. And the pitch gets away. Salvador Perez has no idea where it went, but luckily Brady Singer's there to back him up. And that'll move the runners to second and third. And Joey Gallo is looking to get his first RBIs of the season and prove that he can redeem himself this year. And he smacks it into left field past Bobby Witt Jr. 1-run scores, the throw to the plate, and it's offline. Max Kepler will score as well, and Joey Gallo has himself his first hit of the season and his first 2 RBIs of the season, and he's pumped up about that one as Donovan Solano steps in. And Donovan Solano will get the pitch right down the middle, and he'll smack that into right center, and that's in the gap. We'll see if we'll score Joey Gallo, and they will. They'll be sending him home, and Donovan Solano is held up at second base. No triple for him, but you got to love to see them balls hitting the gap by Donovan Solano as Kyle Farmer steps in, and he gets a pitch right down the middle, and he smacks it into left. And there goes Donovan Solano looking to score a run, and he does. The throw is not even close as Carlos Correa is next to bat, and Carlos Correa smacks it on the ground to Bobby Witt Jr., and he throws it on to second, and that'll end the inning. But the Twins put up 4 in this inning, and they are excited about it, as that was a great way to start out opening day here in the second inning. And with Joe Ryan back on the mound, Hunter Dozier at bat, and he throws the fastball, and it's hit on the ground to Kyle Farmer as he throws him out over to first base. And then Kyle Isbell steps in, and Joe Ryan's about to hopefully strike him out as no. Byron Buxton has to field it out in center field. Kyle Isbell with the base hit up the middle on what looked like a for sure strikeout. As Bobby Witt Jr. steps in and hits a lazy fly ball out to Max Kepler. Max Kepler will hurry up and get that ball in just to keep Isbell from potentially going to second base on a fly ball. And Nicky Lopez will be in for his second at bat. And Nicky Lopez will pop it up to Carlos Correa. And that will end the second inning. Twins still lead 4-1 as Joe Ryan looked to settle in after giving up the base hit. And then the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Byron Buxton, Jorge Polanco, and Jose Miranda will all step up to bat for the Minnesota Twins here in the third inning. Byron Buxton leading us off with a double in the gap. He smacks that one at 109 mile an hour, and he was hoping with his speed that he'd be able to get to third. But they get to it quickly because he hit it very quickly. And with that, Jorge Polanco will step into bat, looking for that RBI single, and he'll get it. Byron Buxton with those wheels, hoping to score, and he does. That base hit by Jorge Polanco was at 113 mile an hour up to center field as Jose Miranda steps into bat. And he smacks one into right field, but it's just a lazy fly ball, and Jorge Polanco will have to retreat to first base as they get the ball in. And that will bring up Christian Vasquez. Christian Vasquez hoping to get a base hit here after a lazy fly ball to center, and he will at 104 mile an hour straight up to center field once again. It's like they're timing it perfectly for hitting Brady Singer. Runners are on first and second here as Max Kepler steps in. Max Kepler will hit it on the ground, but it'll sneak through past the diving second baseman, and there's some confusion at third base as they don't know whether or not to send him, but luckily for them, they made the right decision there, sending him back to third base as Joey Gallo steps in with the bases loaded, and Joey Gallo is looking to add to that RBI total. The pitch? And he smacks it into deep right field, way back there, and it's off the wall. 2 runners will score. The third, thinking about it, and the third's going, and there's no throw to home plate. 3-run score on the RBI double by Joey Gallo, and that is a way to start out the season. Once again, he is trying to rewrite his name. He's trying to redeem himself. Joey Gallo had an awful season last year, and he's looking to bounce back and prove that with the Minnesota Twins, he can take them to the next level. And there's already a pitcher substitution as Daniel Lynch steps in, and he hits the first batter. Donovan Solano not very happy about getting hit by that pitch. He wanted to get more base hits. He wants to be that batting average guy. He wants to lead the team. And that's not how he's going to do it. He can't get hits that way. As Kyle Farmer steps in to take his hacks, and he swings at a pitch way outside, hits it up the middle, but it's fielded at second, and they throw him out at first as a double play. Vinny Pasquantino leads it off in the third inning for the Kansas City Royals, and Vinny Pasquantino will smack one on the ground to Donovan Solano, who has a hard time with his release, and he can't get the throw off in time as Salvador Perez steps in, and he pops it up to Jose Miranda. Jose Miranda's easily under that one, and now there's one down in the bottom of the third as Edward Olivares steps up. Edward Olivares, the hit in the second inning, as he hits it up to center field, base hit. Byron Buxton gets it in to Kyle Farmer. And with that, there's runners on first and second with one down. The 1-2 count. Joe Ryan strikes out Michael Massey. That's fourth strikeout of the game. That's 2 out here in the third inning with Drew Waters stepping up to bat with the runners still on first and second. And he will also strike out. Drew Waters having a game to forget with his second strikeout of the game so far. And with that, the Minnesota Twins lead 8-1 here at the end of the third inning. And it's looking pretty good for the Twins to start the season. Carlos Correa will step up. And Carlos Correa will swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Salvador Perez has to throw it quickly, and he gets him. What a play by Salvador Perez to throw the runner out at first as Byron Buxton steps into the plate. And he gets a perfect slider right down the middle, and he mashes it off the wall. That's a double. Byron Buxton with his second double of the day. And Jorge Polanco steps in, batting from the right side this time with the left-handed pitcher. And Jorge Polanco hits a lazy fly ball to left field. Byron Buxton thinking about tagging up, but he will not because the ball was not deep enough, and that was a good throw in from left field. Probably a wise decision there by Byron Buxton. And the third base coach holding him there. Jose Miranda steps in. And the pitch. And he mashes that one into the left center gap. 99-mile-an-hour exit velocity. And that'll send Byron Buxton home as he's running up into second. And the throw gets in, and it'll hold him at second there. No triple for Jose Miranda as well. And there, the Twins are rolling. As Christian Vasquez steps in with a 1-1 count, the pitch. And he hits it into right field, and that's caught in right field. A line out to end the inning. End the half inning. My bad. And the Twins are up 9-1 with the run-scoring double by Jose Miranda. Byron Buxton coming in to score on that. Hunter Dozier step in with a 1-2 count. Joe Ryan, he's willing to throw him a splitter, and he gets him. Hunter Dozier strikes out for Joe Ryan's 6th strikeout of the game and of the season. Kyle Isbell steps in. He has a 2-2 count, and he hits it on the ground. Carlos Correa gets it. Has some trouble with the release as well. The Twins are having some throwing issues, and they're committing a lot of errors here to start the season. They're considered one of the top fielding as Bobby Witt Jr. lines one at Joe Ryan, and it hits off of him. Hopefully he's okay. It appears that he is okay as he keeps pitching, and Nicky Lopez steps up to bat, and he hits it on the ground. Past Carlos Correa, diving there at short, and the throw into the plate, and he's safe. Joey Gallo with not enough gas on that throw. Still one of the best fielders in left field as Vinny Pasquantino steps in and draws a walk. And with that, Kenta Maeda will take over for Joe Ryan. Had an okay start. Wasn't the best of his performances, but that's okay as Kenta Maeda steps in with a 6-5 record last year in 21 games, 106 innings. And Kenta Maeda will face Salvador Perez to start the inning as he hits a pop-up out into right field. And Kepler's going to have to get it in quickly here. And Bobby Witt Jr. is going to score. He's way too fast to be taking your time like that out in right field. Edward Olivares will step in. Here the 3-1 count, the pitch, and he walks him. Kenta Maeda with his first walk as Michael Massey steps in. And he hits it on the ground to Donovan Solano, and Donovan Solano will get him out easily there at first to end the inning. Gets out of the jam. Kenta Maeda hoping to have a long game here. He's no longer a starter. He's coming out of the bullpen, but he misses those starting days. He's already admitted. In steps Max Kepler here to start the season. Start the inning. And Max Kepler strikes out. In steps Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo is already having himself a game, so why not add to it? Joey Gallo with the 1-2 count here. And he mashes this one deep into right field, and that ball is way back, and it's gone. Into the bullpen out there in right field, and Joey Gallo with his first home run of the season as well. That ball had an exit velocity of 109 miles an hour, and he knew that was gone. Byron Buxton is pumped up about it, and here he is coming back into home plate. Gotta love it. He's having himself a day. In steps Donovan Solano. The pitch from Daniel Lynch here, and it's hit on the ground weakly to third base, and he'll be thrown out for the second out of the inning. Donovan Solano looking for more hits. He's projected to lead the team in average. He's got to keep going for it. He doesn't want the pressure, though, as Kyle Farmer steps in. And Kyle Farmer will hit it weakly on the ground to third base as well, and that will end the inning. The Twins extending their lead off the Joey Gallo solo shot. He mashed that one, and he knew it. That ball was way out of here, and he is pumped to start the season out like this, as that hopefully marks a good year for him. Signing the deal with the Twins, hoping for a rebound. In steps Drew Waters, who already has 2 strikeouts today. He has a full count here, and Kenta Maeda deals the pitch, and he swings and misses for his 3rd strikeout of the game. Drew Waters is definitely having a day to forget. As Kenta Maeda's happy to get the strikeout here. Hunter Dozier steps into the plate, and he strikes out as well. Kenta Maeda striking out his 2nd batter of the inning. Kenta Maeda looking to make it 3 as Kyle Isbell steps in. And Kyle Isbell will hit a line drive into center field. A lazy fly ball, more like it. And Byron Buxton will be there to catch it. And that ends the inning. As Carlos Correa will step up to lead off the inning for the Twins. And he's going to hit a lazy ground ball back to the pitcher. The pitcher stops it, and he throws it on to first. Carlos Correa is out. Carlos Correa with 1 hit on the day so far. The rest of the team's killing it. Byron Buxton steps in. And Byron Buxton with a 3-1 count here, looking to do some damage. And he hits it on the ground to short. The shortstop will easily throw him out there. 2 away. Jorge Polanco steps in to bat. Jorge Polanco's waiting on the 2-2 pitch, and he mashes this one into left field, but it's caught. Not far enough into the gap there for Jorge Polanco, but that ends the inning. Bobby Witt Jr. will step in. Bobby Witt Jr. with the 1-1 count, waiting on the delivery from Kenta Maeda. And he mashes this one deep into left field. That ball's way back there, and that ball is gone into the other dugout. Bobby Witt Jr. with his first on the season. That exit velocity of 101 miles an hour. Bobby Witt Jr. looking to make a name for himself this year. He's considered one of the top prospects last year, and he came up and didn't 100% deliver on the hype, but he's ready and willing to show it this year. Kenta Maeda with the delivery to Nicky Lopez, and that's a bloop single into left field, right over the third baseman's head. And Joey Gallo had to get that in to keep him from running in the second. He's happy with it. He didn't think he'd get the hit there, but he'll take a bloop single any day as Vinny Pasquantino steps in. Vinny Pasquantino was 0 for 1 today with 2 walks and a run. And the 1-1 count from Kenta Maeda, and he hits it up the ground, base hit up the middle. Past the diving Solano, Byron Buxton fires it into third base. There's nobody out with Salvador Perez up the plate with a full count, the delivery, and he strikes out. Kenta Maeda gets Salvador Perez. Now Edward Oliveira steps in, already 2 for 2 on the day, hoping to make it 3 for 3. And he makes it 3 for 3. Byron Buxton has to field it, and he's got to gun it in there to get him out. Will he get him? Safe at the plate. It was a close play, but the runner scores, and the score is now 10-5 as Kenta Maeda deals to Michael Massey. Hit on the ground to Carlos Correa, over to Solano, on to first, and that ends the inning. Double play ball. The Twin killing here. And in steps Jose Miranda. Jose Miranda with a 3-1 count here, and he'll hit it, line drive into right center gap. He's looking for 2, but could he make it 3? No, they get it quick enough. Jose Miranda will have to settle for the double. Still quite ecstatic because that's his second double of the game. And Christian Vasquez steps in. Christian Vasquez looking to go 2 for 4 at least, but no, he pops it up into center field. Miranda's looking to tag up, but it's not deep enough. They'll fire it in quickly, and Jose Miranda will stay at second base. In steps Max Kepler, and Max Kepler looking to do some damage, but no, he hits it softly on the ground. Throw to the pitcher, covering, and he's out. But the runner advances to third base. Doing something productive as Joey Gallo steps in. Joey Gallo already having a day. He's looking to add to it, and Joey Gallo hits one to center field, and it's a lazy fly ball out, and that will end the inning. Joey Gallo still having a day, even though he was looking to add to it. As due up for the Royals are Drew Waters, Hunter Dozier, and Kyle Isbell, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Kenta Maeda should have it quick and easy here. As a 1-2 count to Drew Waters. He's going to throw him the curveball, and he gets him. That's his 4th strikeout of the game. Drew Waters not having a day as Hunter Dozier steps in, 0 for 3. And the pitch gets away as he's walked. Hunter Dozier trots over to first. Could have potentially turned it into 2 bases. Kyle Isbell grounds it up the middle. Carlos Correa's got it. Over to Solano. Solano to Miranda. And that ends the inning. Double play ball yet again to end the inning. And with that, Josh Stalmont comes in to relieve for the Kansas City Royals. He had 42 games last year with a 6.45 ERA in 37 innings. Not quite the season he wanted last year. He's a good reliever, hoping to rebound this year as Donovan Solano steps in, and he's looking to get him out. He's been a hard out today. Donovan Solano is a good contact hitter, projected to lead team in average, but he flies out to center field on a lazy fly ball. Kyle Farmer steps in. Kyle Farmer's ready for the at-bat, the 3-2 pitch, and he walks him. Josh Stalmont with a walk, first of the season. And that's not exactly what he's looking for. It was a problem last year, and he's looking to turn that around as Carlos Correa steps into the 1-1 count. And Carlos Correa not having the best of the days, but he hits this one to right center. And this ball's deep out there, and it's going to get down. That's going to score the runner from first. Correa thought about 3, but he decided not to. He thought that the center fielder didn't have the ball yet, but that makes it 11-5 Twins. Byron Buxton steps in, and Byron Buxton's going to hit it to left center. That ball's deep out there, and that ball is going to get down. Another run scores for the Twins as Byron Buxton hits his 3rd double of the day. Byron Buxton's having himself a day. And in steps Jorge Polanco. Josh Stalmont's not looking very hot so far as Jorge Polanco hits this deep into right. And it's foul. It's a foul ball. Jorge Polanco not very happy. But that gets him to 3-2 count. And then he pops out to center field. Not exactly the result you want after hitting a deep fly ball like that. But he'll hit plenty of home runs throughout the year. As Jose Miranda steps in. Byron Buxton on second. Jose Miranda looking to drive him in with a full count. Josh Stalmont getting ready to deliver the pitch. And he hits a weak ground ball. If he would have just took it, it would have been a walk. But instead, it's a ground out, a throw to the pitcher. And that ends the half inning. Heading to the bottom of the eighth, the score is 12-5. The Minnesota Twins with 18 hits and 2 errors. The Royals having 9 and 0 errors. As Giovanni Moran steps in to relieve for Kenta Maeda. 31 games last year with 40 innings and a 2.21 ERA with 54 strikeouts. Quite the strikeout guy, and he's very good at limiting the amount of runs given. It'll be a great help for the Twins as Bobby Witt Jr. takes the first pitch there and strikes out. Slider. Sorry. Nicky Lopez steps in, the 1-1 count, and he hits it on the ground. Donovan Solano throws it in the dirt. Miranda can't pick it. The runner's safe at first. That's the third error of the game for the Minnesota Twins. And Vinny Pasquantino steps in with a 2-2 count. And he strikes out on the circle changeup in the middle of the zone, but it was a little low below the knees. He's swinging at a ball, but Moran will take it. Salvador Perez steps in with a 3-2 count, and he strikes out as well. Salvador Perez is having a day to forget as well. Not as bad as Drew Waters, but Giovanni Moran happy to get out of that untouched with the error. At the end of the eighth inning, still a 12-5 score here in Kansas City. And they'll go to the bullpen and bring in Amir Garrett. Amir Garrett with a 2-2 count. Swing and a miss by Christian Vasquez for strike 3. Way above the zone. He should have laid off of that one, but Christian Vasquez, too greedy, wanted that high fly ball. Max Kepler strikes out as well. Amir Garrett looking good as Joey Gallo steps in, looking to add to his day. But will Joey Gallo be able to produce against a left-handed pitcher? No, he would strike out. Amir Garrett strikes out the side. And the Minnesota Twins will go back to the dugout and hope that they can hold the Kansas City Royals from scoring 8 runs to win it. In steps Edward Olivares. Giovanni Moran will stay out there for another inning. The 1-2 count to Olivares, and he strikes out. Another strikeout for Moran, his 4th strikeout since he came in from the bullpen last inning. As Michael Massey will step in with a 2-2 count, and Giovanni Moran will throw him the slider, and he'll get him out as well on the strikeout. 5 strikeouts from Giovanni Moran. And in steps Drew Waters with a 1-2 count. Giovanni Moran looking to strike him out as well, and that's the 5th strikeout of the game for Drew Waters as the Minnesota Twins win 12-5 here on opening day. That's one way to start the season. Minnesota Twins are really excited for what could be a playoff-bound season for them as they're projected to win the AL Central. And with that, the 12-5 is your score. Kenta Maeda with the win and Brady Singer with the loss. The Twins take the series lead at 1-0. Joey Gallo having himself a day there today, hitting a couple of base hits and a home run, driving in 5 runs. As the Minnesota Twins take the W on the first game of the season, and that's a great way to start out as the Kansas City Royals really struggled. It was not a day for them to remember. They did score 5 runs, but there were a lot of strikeouts. Most of their hits were solid, but they need to work on making solid contact more frequently. As the player of the game was, of course, Joey Gallo, 3 for 5 with a home run and a double. And with that, it's time to do some scouting. Burt McCauley, the draft rank of 13, and Twins rank him at 13 as well. He's 21 years old. That potential range, about 75 to 94 overall. And they're hoping that he can be the starting pitcher of the future. If they could potentially draft him, they're going to look into him, see how they feel about him. And then Mike Ponce. He's also an intriguing prospect for the Twins, as second baseman Jorge Polanco could be leaving before long. We never know. And it looks like the Twins will win the series 2-1. As the second game of the series was a 3-2 win for the Twins, and the third was a 1-5 loss for the Twins. And up next will be the Miami Marlins. And that should be an intriguing matchup, as Jazz Chisholm is the cover guy. We all know it, and we all hope to see him produce this year. But the Minnesota Twins are looking to go into Miami and take a series win and keep their roll going. Make sure that they're playoff bound. Start out strong and finish that way. And with that, I hope to see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and take care of yourselves.